Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Networking Mondays. We're very glad you're with us today. It's June 14th, 2021. For those people on Zoom, as soon as you have questions, any questions you have, as soon as you think about something, just go ahead and stick it right in the chat box. That way we can, as our speaker takes a break or as we check the chat box, we should get those questions answered. For those people watching on Facebook, we got 6 people currently watching on Facebook. Hello, hello. Please just enter your questions into the comment field. I am monitoring that feed and I'll be sure to get those questions answered for you. Please note this event is being recorded and is currently live on Facebook. The recording will be on the Career DFW Facebook page and the Career USA YouTube channel for others to view in the future. By participating in this event, and if you post a comment in the chat box or have your microphone or camera on, you give consent for your comment, name, and picture to appear. Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeff Morris. For those who don't know me, back in 2008, I started a website called careerdfw.org to help people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in their job search by putting everything they need to know in one place. In 2012, I started a second website called careerusa.org to help people outside the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I've written a book called What I've Learned About Your Job Search That You May Not Know. It's available on Amazon. I have been facilitating and leading the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. I've been doing that since 2007. The group's been around since the late 1990s, and I'll tell you about our programming at the end of this session, what we have coming up this Friday. And since 2017, I've been a member of the PIT crew, which is also known as the Practice Interview Team. Don't wait. If you need to practice your interview skills, reach out to me. If you haven't heard of it, reach out to me. I'll get you some information. Practice now. The motto is practice now, practice off, or practice often, practice now, practice often. I don't know, somebody be prepared. Don't wait until you have an interview to go do something. Sign up, get practice, practice for it now. All right, well, every week when we started Networking Mondays back in February, we've had a different speaker talking about networking. So here's our lineup so far and who we have lined up for the next week or two. So it's just really sort of amazing how many experts there are in the DFW area or around the country who I can sort of pick and choose from and go, hey, let's talk about networking. And everybody's topic is about how to network, but they also talk about it a little bit different way. So today, our speaker is Jason Hopper. He's a career coach at Jewish Family Services of Greater Dallas. He's going to talk about outside the box networking, unconventional ways to get noticed. So Jason, thank you for being with us, and I'll let you tell us a little bit about your background as you get started here.
Great, thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Did everybody see that?
Yes, we can.
That's perfect. All right. So, as Jeff said, I'm Jason Hopper. I'm a career coach here at Jewish Family Service. Jewish Family Service is a nonprofit secular organization that, let me back that part up because I'm not sure what secular means. It means you do not have to be Jewish to receive service from our organization. There's a big misconception on that. In fact, our motto is an open door to all in need. We are a wraparound service organization. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's say I have a client and they tell me, Jason, I am just so depressed, it's hard for me to just get out of bed. I am not equipped to deal with that. But we do have licensed therapists and clinicians that are. If we also have programs for older adults as well as the kiddos, right? If your kid needs an assessment, not for school, not right now because it's summer, or if they have any issues. We also have transitional housing if there is any kind of family violence, and also a food pantry that you can participate in. Food pantry is actually drive-through only at the moment. They are doing a big remodel of it, which will be open in October. Food pantry is Thursdays from 9 until noon. And if you know somebody or if you want to participate, get here early because sometimes the line is all the way down the street. I'm not joking. I work in Career and Financial Services Department. What we do is I will basically build out a job search strategy for my clients and help them be successful in their job search. Now, whether that is job search strategy or interview technique, I did we'll do mock interviews, resume review, whatever it is that everybody comes to us for, we will work that out and make sure that they are set up to be successful. Before that, before I was here, and I've been here for about a year and a half now, before that, I worked for the Texas Workforce Commission and in the Plano workforce, actually. Jeff, that's where we met, actually, for the very first time. I was at the Plano workforce. I was a workforce development specialist doing a lot of kind of what I do now, only it was on a much larger scale. Working here at JFS, I like to kind of compare the two as working for TWC was more like fast food. We just saw a lot of people, right? Working here at JFS is more fine dining. I get to know my clients. They get to know me. I get to actually tailor a specific plan for them. I was at the TWC for 7 years. And then before that, I was a recruiter for 14 years. So we'll run down. I've got 20 years experience of helping people go back to work in some form. So that's who I am. Guys, welcome to, and actually I should probably change the title a little bit. It is networking, but it is going to be focused a little bit mostly on social media. So networking is the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information or develop professional or social contacts. Oftentimes people think about networking and it's, and we were just talking beforehand, like, oh, we can actually move out and go out into the world now, right? I mean, pandemic is still in effect, but it's waning, right? People think of networking as, standing around, maybe holding a glass of wine, hanging out, right? Really, networking is just talking. And it's something that we do every day. We talk to people every single day. It's talking and offering to help. Now, you may not be able to help that person right then and there. That's okay. But it's at least making that offer to do it. I found that social media is really the best. It's one of the easiest ways to get noticed, especially, lately with all of the shelter in place and people working from home. It's just easy to do, right? So, LinkedIn. I know this is not LinkedIn Tuesday, but come on, guys. Did you really think I'm going to talk about networking and not bring up LinkedIn? You know that wasn't going to happen. So, a couple things about LinkedIn. Who out there has tried to connect to a recruiter at a target company and really nothing happened? Anybody? I see some people. I see Brian shaking their heads. Paul's got his hand up. Yeah. One of the reasons that is when recruiters get into LinkedIn, they oftentimes just log in and then pop right over into the recruiter portal, right? Which means they oftentimes neglect their, they neglect their personal page. Yes, they will pop over there and they will post a job. It's free, right? Why not do it? It goes to everybody in their network. But oftentimes the connection requests get ignored. One of the reasons for that is, well, they're recruiters. Everybody and their mother is trying to connect to them because they are recruiters. So here's an idea that I like that I think will work a little bit better in trying to get connected to the recruiters. You got your target companies, right? Go find the recruiter that works there. Do not ask them to connect. Instead, look and see what they're doing. What's in their feed? Are they posting things? Are they posting jobs, right? If they are they posting anything? What kind of content do they have, right? Look at their content and engage. Like it, comment on it, maybe share it, depending on what it is. If they're just posting jobs, right? Like, hey, I need an HR assistant. Okay, like it and comment. Hey, Rick, I don't know any HR assistants, but I do have a good network. Let me see if I can't connect you with somebody. Again, you're offering to help, right? I would do this. I would engage with the recruiters you're trying to connect with at target companies. I would do this for probably 2 to 3 weeks. Then go ahead and make that request, because at this point, Now, more than anything else, you've got name recognition, right? You go and make that request and they're like, oh, Jason, I know Jason. No, they don't know me, but they think they do because I've been engaging in their content and the things that they're posting, and they will be more likely to respond at that point. Also, I would connect to other people in the department of the company that you're trying to break into, right? Go in there and do a request to connect. I would probably in your connection note, set it up something like this. Hey, Rick, I'm in marketing, same as you, looking to connect to other professionals. Looking forward to connecting. Thanks, Jason. Send. Added bonus. Hey, provide some value. I don't know if you saw this recent article about marketing trends, but thought you might enjoy it. Okay. Now, are they going to read that? Probably not. I never do when people send me links to articles, just to be honest. But again, you're trying to provide some value, right? And they will be more likely to connect to you. Now, when the job posts, right? When you see that job posting and you are now excited and ready to go and raring to apply, well, here's what I would do. Before you apply and it gets lost in the ATS, I would reach out to Rick again and go, hey, Rick, just saw you guys post that marketing coordinator. It looks like a very interesting position. I am qualified for it. Attach your resume. Looking forward to hearing from you soon, right? Now, I get Rick's not the recruiter. I get that Rick is just the marketing guy. But what do you think Rick's going to do? He's going to at least be curious and open up the resume, right? Like, he wants the department to be successful. He works there. It's his department. He knows that we need a coordinator. You might be the guy. Then the resume, send off to probably the manager, who will look at it and go, oh, yeah, okay, cool. Jason, he looks like he's qualified. And then where does it go? Then it goes back down to the recruiter, and they go, hey, recruiter, call Jason. We want to talk to him, right? This is a tactic that does work. You know how I know it works? It's how I got hired here. Right, so I set my LinkedIn job alerts to notify me any type of job posted titled career coach. And a lot of them, they were volunteer things at the university. Until the one day it was at JFS. And I stopped everything I was doing. Luckily, I did not have a customer at my desk at the time. And I already knew our lead, Mitch, right? And we were connected. Mitch would like and comment on the content that I would post. I'd email him every now and then. Hey, I just outreached 50 people for your networking event. Hope it's successful, whatever, right? And so he knew who I was, right? I put in that work. So then I just sent him a direct message. Hey, Mitch, just saw you guys posted the career coach position. Attach my resume. Let me know what the next step is. And Mitch said, great. I will send it to our director, Allison. And he did. And then, I don't know, that was a Monday. Nothing happened. Wednesday, I sent him another DM and said, hey, Mitch, haven't heard anything. Can I provide any extra information? He's like, I don't know anything. Let me talk to Allison. And then she called later that day for a phone screen, set up the interview for the next Tuesday. I interviewed with her Tuesday. 2 days later, I came back to interview with the CEO. Friday, they offered me the job. So the tactic does work. I'm proof it works. I also used to do the same thing when I was working at TWC. My wife, who works at FedEx Corporate, would ask me, hey, do you have any salespeople? And I would be like, yeah. And I would send her resumes for salespeople, and her team would look it over. Her team then would go, oh, okay, cool. We want to talk to Sarah. And then the manager sent that message down to the recruiter along with the resume and say, hey, we want to talk to Sarah. It does happen like that. So it's always a good idea to connect to people that are in the department where you're trying to break in. Sorry, guys, I'm also trying to monitor the chat. So, but so far I just see lots of networking, which I love. Perfect. Do you guys know about LinkedIn stories? You don't know about stories? Stories, you can't do it. It's on the mobile app. You can't do it on your laptop, but it's basically you filming yourself. It's a quick video. It's a good way to get noticed, right? You guys know posts. You post something, it's just text. Okay, cool. Something with a picture is going to get more engagement, and something with the video is going to get more engagement than that. It's a good way to reach your network and reach out. And I've even seen some, like after some people do a request to connect with me, and then afterwards send me a quick, video introduction in the DM. And I love that. It's great. It's something that's also kind of memorable. And then engage, right? So I said, make sure you engage with the recruiters before trying to go and connect to them so that you can get a little bit of that name recognition. It's also a great idea if you're connecting to people within the departments and companies, engage with their content, like it, comment on it, right? You're just basically, what you're doing is you're building out the relationship. And even though it is virtual, again, it is something that will work. They'll be more likely to engage back with you, and you're kind of starting to build those relationships at target companies before you go and make a request to, for them to help you out. Facebook. Now we got some people looking on Facebook, watching on Facebook Live. Yeah, you see this is blank right here. Wasn't able to find a very professional Facebook type of page. Guys, or you should know, employers are going to go check out your Facebook page. They just are, right? So make sure that yours is looking pretty professional. I would make sure that you create a post to make sure your friends and family know that you're looking for work. You never know who somebody's going to know. That's the beauty of networking. That's the thing that excites me the most about networking, is you never know who knows somebody else. And I always tell everybody, it's like the next person you meet could be the unlock to your next position. And if it's not that person, it's the next one or the next one. It's just, you never know, right? But for sure, your friends and family should know that you're looking for work. And if you did a post to remind them, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot, Jason's looking. Yeah, okay, and I know somebody that can maybe help, right? This actually happened a couple years ago to a friend of mine who, she had been at the same employer for 20 years, and the business shut down, like the owner retired. And she did a post on Facebook like, it's been 20 years. I don't even know how to do a resume, how to do anything for job search. Like, can anybody help point me in the right direction? And then one of my friends saw it and tagged me in it. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry that happened, Wendy. Send me your resume. Let me see what I can do to help. Another one of our friends tagged Aaron Alanese, who he was a recruiter, now the director over at Next Step Staffing. And Aaron's like, oh, let me see what I can do to help you out, right? And a couple other people chimed in with, hey, I may have a lead for you. And our friend Wendy had a job in about 3 weeks. Now, that's really fast. But what I'm saying is, she did a post, people responded, and then from there, things started moving and getting legs. Now, I'm not going to say, and please don't say, oh, Jason said I'll post on Facebook and I'm going to get a job. No, that's not what I'm saying. I am saying, though, if people are aware, if your friends and family are aware, you're just going to increase your chances of getting a job that much faster. But I will say this, hey, look, it did happen. It happened to my friend Wendy. That doesn't mean that it can't happen to you, right? The other thing I would do is, your about section on Facebook, have that mirror what your about section looks like on LinkedIn. It looks a little bit more professional, right? Again, employers are going to go check out your Facebook page. They are. Well, what if in their about section, they see pretty much the exact thing that you have posted on LinkedIn? Looks a little nicer, doesn't it? Also, I would join some groups. All right. They do have groups out there. For like job boards, of course. But they also have groups for like whatever your profession might be. Are you a consultant? Okay, cool. Well, get in there and join some groups. And also then the other part is be an active part of that group, right? Engage. What's the topic? Sometimes there aren't topics because the group's kind of quiet. Okay, start a topic, right? It's just that when you do that and you join a group, you get that sense of a bit more of a community where everybody is looking to talk to other people and connect and help other people. So I would get into some groups as well on Facebook. They do have groups on LinkedIn as well, but if you don't know, they do have them on Facebook, and I would get into some. What about Instagram? Anybody ever thought about job searching on Instagram? Instagram has jobs posted, guys. In fact, just before this, I went and use your hashtags. I typed in hashtag marketing, and there were 48.9 million posts with that hashtag. So I was like, okay, let's do a little bit of a drill down. And I typed in hashtag marketing jobs, and still there were 30.9 thousand things that popped up. Now, I was a little bit pressed for time, but I can almost guarantee there is a hashtag marketing jobs Dallas hashtag, which would drill that down even further. So now, okay, great. We're looking at pictures. What's next, right? Well, how about you like it and comment on it? Or if it's a recruiter that's posted it, you don't have to be connected to somebody or following them to send somebody a DM on Instagram, right? What if you saw a job that said hashtag marketing jobs Dallas, and you were like, I could do that. I'm qualified to do that. You could always like it. You could make a comment on it and send a DM off, right, to the person. It's like, hey, Joe, saw that you posted that. Just came across this job. This is something I'm interested in. Can we talk? Leave your phone number. Like, they're there for a reason. I have a client who is working on getting her real estate license and trying to get into that field. And she told me one day, she goes, Jason, I'm having a really hard time finding some of these people, or the right people, that are on LinkedIn. I said, have you checked them on Instagram? And sure enough, all these real estate people, because think about it, guys, Instagram's all picture based, right? So the realtor is there with a picture of her in front of the house, or different interiors within the house, like different rooms, right? Like, lots of realtors live on Instagram. And how they getting people? Well, through business. Couple few things before you start to go and attempt this. Take a look at your content. If all of your posts are nothing but your kittens and food, that may not work. But by the way, you can have more than one account. You can create another account for Instagram specifically for business, right? With maybe you there in a tie or a nice blouse on and blazer, right? With you can do that, and then post content, of course, for your business Instagram that's related to your field, right? That'll be a thing that will be a lot more engaging to somebody, especially if you're going to be searching out and trying to make connections to them. I already talked slide into your DMs. I already told you guys about that. But also too, like, one thing that you could do is follow your target companies, right? And then engage in their content. What are they posting? What are they doing? And pretty much, I don't know of really any company out there that doesn't have an Instagram account. But see what they're doing. Like, if you want to work with me, go follow the JFS Dallas Instagram, right? Like, comment, engage. Like, especially because our org, I think we have less than 100 employees here. But like, and by the way, they post a job or a picture of, hey, we're hiring for this. You like it, comment on it. Is that the right person? No, Stacy is not the hiring person for that. She's our marketing person. But what is she going to do? She's going to go tell the right person, right? Now, obviously, in companies that are bigger corporations, it's a little bit trickier. But if they are posting things like that, they would be a lot more likely to engage, especially if it's something that where they could set up a situation where it might be somewhat helpful to them. Meetups. You guys know about meetups? Anybody been to any meetups in there? Jeff says yes. I have. I'm in meetups. If you guys don't know, meetup.com is where you want to go. I think the logo is "We are what we do." Here's why I like meetups. And by the way, they have meetups for everything. I'm talking dog lovers to people that like to walk around outside and drink wine at the same time. I'm not part of that meetup. A friend of mine is, though. So that's how I know about it. But I'm not part of that. But they have meetups for all the things, everything. Now, here's the truth, guys. People hire and do business with people they just generally like. In pretty much all networking kind of situations, what happens? Like, you're going to gravitate to one or two other people because, you know, they've said something that was interesting or funny and you just kind of clicked with them, right? And so now within the group, you've got kind of a separate subgroup. And this is going to happen in meetups too. And if it's an online thing, which a lot of them are, you just kind of break off, or you could send them a direct message through chat while you're on the Zoom, right? These things you could take offline. And now it's like, you know, hey, that's great. It's good to know you, Jason. What do you do? Oh, well, you know what? Right now, I'm looking for work. Oh, okay. And what do you do? Well, I'm in marketing. Oh, okay, great. You know what? I can't help you, but my cousin is in marketing. Maybe I could get the two of you. You see how this goes? I mean, again, you never know who somebody's going to know. And the thing about meetups that's great is you already have that one thing in common, right? Unlike some networking groups where the only thing that you have in common is that you're a job seeker, meetups are going to have you've got one. I like detective novels. Okay, cool. So do I. Right? They already like you. They already like you for the thing that you are there meeting up for. Right? They already like you. And then when they start to get to know you, they like you more. And then once again, you get off to those side conversations and you never know where it's going to lead or where it's going to happen. But I think that, and too, as the world starts to open up a little bit more, there'll be a lot more in-person things that you could do. And I highly encourage everybody to get out there and look at doing into some meetups. And what about Nextdoor? You guys know about Nextdoor? If you don't, Nextdoor is an app that basically tells you what's going on in your neighborhood, right? I live in Plano, and usually Nextdoor is like, the bobcat was spotted on the trail behind, be on the lookout for the bobcat. I did see the bobcat once, and it wasn't as cool as everybody makes it seem. So usually that's Nextdoor, right? That's what Nextdoor is like, is they tell you what's going on in your neighborhood. But what if you created a post on Nextdoor that says that you were looking for work, right? Like, and not a long thing, but kind of a short, hey, this is what I'm looking for, looking for work. I mean, who better to be looking out for you for leads than your neighbors, right? The people that are around you, right? Obviously, and so the Nextdoor is kind of will be a larger scale on the neighborhood. Like you guys might have block parties or something, but may not know people like 2-3 blocks over, whereas Nextdoor will be able to reach them. But I did have a client that tried this. It did yield one lead, so it can work. You will be put in Nextdoor jail. I'm just going to straight up tell you, they will shut your account down. because that's not what the site is used for. They don't want you selling, and you're typically what you're doing is selling yourself. So they will shut your account down. Just be aware that if you try this, you will go to next door jail. But in like 10, 12 days, you're back up and running again. So that's something that you might want to consider doing, is posting that up on Nextdoor as well. And so that's the end of that presentation. And I tried to go real slow, but we still actually have some we do have extra time. So what questions can I answer for you guys?
Well, one question Fred had was, what are good places to do in-person networking outside of the career DFW list now that COVID is starting to recede?
It's a great question. And I'm going to say, and I'm not trying to be, cagey, but really anywhere, everywhere there where you are, you should be networking and talking to people. When you think about it, anybody that you come across could potentially have a lead for you. I don't know what everybody does here in the room, but like, I'm going to give you a real life example. Okay. What if somebody here in this group was in security, right? They're a security guard, and you're thinking, well, I don't know anybody that would be looking for a security guard. I don't know any security guards. I don't think I'm going to connect to really talk or engage with that person because they're not going to be able to really help me. Well, again, you don't know who somebody knows. This is a real life example where I was when I was working at the workforce in Plano. Our security guard, he would talk to all kinds of people. And one of the things he was doing, but people didn't know, was he was fishing because his wife was an HR director at a company. Now, what if she's the HR director at the company you're trying to break into? So, and I'm not trying to cop out, Fred, but like anywhere you are, you should be talking to people. And that's networking. Networking is just talking to people. Now, as far as actual groups and things go, I think was it Brian? Were you the one that was talking about Frisco Square? Yes, Brian said yes. So Brian was just talking about Frisco Square. They have music Friday nights, live music, and said their place is packed, like all kinds of people. Any place where you are, where you have contact with somebody else, that's networking.
The hardest thing I've had to remember in the last few weeks of actually starting to go back out is remembering to have business cards with me in my pocket. I remember last Friday, my Friday group for the North Dallas Plano group, 8 of us got together for lunch, and 3 people were really making connection. They said, well, do you have a business card? And nobody had brought their cards with them. They had forgotten because they'd sort of gotten out of the routine of making sure they had them with them. So as you start to get back out again, I now have them in my pocket all the time. So when I do go out places, now that people are starting to be more social, more outgoing. And I highly recommend Meetups. I think Meetups are great. I've been going to one Meetup group for my computer program for the last 13 years. So whatever you're interested in, there's a group that meets, find them, go there. Don't forget your professional organizations. Another great thing, whatever it is you do, there's probably a professional group that meets. Find those people out. It'll be a big, big help.
Yeah, I found the same thing, Jeff. In fact, I just recently got cards. Didn't need them because we're working at home. I didn't go anywhere. But I've got cards in my wallet. I've got cards in my what I call my dad bag. I've got cards in the car now. I had a client of mine was like, she had that same problem. She went to a networking event type of thing and was getting introduced to people, and they're like, oh, I don't have any cards. And when that happens, what I told her was grab your phone and pull up the LinkedIn app and, hey, can we get connected right now? Great. Is that you? Perfect. Boom, done. Right. That way you don't forget. It's like, because if you do a lot of networking things, right? Like I would be like, oh man, I really wanted to connect to what was her name? Elizabeth. Elizabeth Hargitay. That's her. No, that's the SVU lady. See, and I see it right there. It's Haggerty. I see you, Elizabeth. But like, yeah, that way you don't have to try and remember it, right? Or go back afterwards and try to find it. Just do it real time right there. Pull up the LinkedIn app, pull them up, and go boom and connect to them. That way, and that's that happens a lot, right? You go, especially when you are out and live, and you're in a more of a group setting. What happens is you meet somebody. And let's say you do get connected real time on LinkedIn, and then everybody's all happy, right? Because everybody was at the networking event and they saw and they talked to like 15, 20 people. And I'm networking today. I was networking, and they're all happy. And then what happens? A week goes by, 2 weeks go by, nothing happens, right? This is why it's important, guys, to check in and follow up with your network. Right? Like, it's good to get connected to people for sure. But if you're not going to follow up, what's the point? Why are we connecting? Why are we networking? Why I don't need additional connections on LinkedIn. I got plenty of them. And what I'm saying is, I'm not looking to collect people. I'm looking to make a relationship with people. Right? So if you're not going to go back and follow up, why are we here? Why are you doing this? Why are you connecting to people? Like, and by the way, the follow up doesn't have to be like this big prolific thing. It could be simply, hey, Mario, I enjoyed meeting you the other day. Let me know if I can help you with anything. That's it. That's quick. That's simple. But it's engaging. When you're networking, your networking attempts and efforts, they should always be moving forward. Okay, they shouldn't just die and then nothing else happens. If that's the case, you're not networking effectively. Somebody put in the chat too about COVID killed meetups. Now a lot of stuff was being done virtual, which was pretty cool. That way you don't even have to leave the house. You can just log in on a Zoom like everybody's doing today.
Right. Yeah. At the very beginning, all the groups did disappear and they stopped meeting. That's one of the reasons why Career DFW started to do different groups on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then we started this Monday group this past February because there was nobody else doing this kind of stuff. But yes, a lot of the meetup groups, once they sort of figured out and businesses figured out and everybody else figured out how to handle this, a lot of these groups did go to Zoom. So, go back and check out your meetup groups. And I'm sure that's a great way to, it's a great way to connect. And I've made some really good connections doing it that way. One of the other things, and I noticed everybody who's, I hope everybody will be sure to save the chat here because people are posting and, the people who are posting their information, the great thing is when you are networking, it's fine to tell somebody you're in IT or you're a senior project engineer, but it's probably better to say, let me have 2 or 3 target companies that you're looking for, because if you tell me you're looking for Kirk, Dr. Pepper, McKesson, and Aramark, that may ring a better bell than, sometimes I hear people all the time say, from my Friday group, I'm looking for a job in Plano, Frisco, McKinney. That's not going to do anybody any good. But give me company names and I go, oh, I may know somebody who happens to work at that company. So I encourage everybody to be sure to save the chat, go through and see if there's somebody in there who you can help, with a contact and a lead. It'd be very helpful to everybody. Questions anybody has, you're welcome to unmute your mic and ask away.
I would comment that you mentioned target companies, and I say this a lot. A marketing plan of which I have is what I usually will send to people because it's not a resume, but it shows what I can do for somebody and then gives a target list of companies I'm looking at. So that's just a good idea for those that don't have it. Be happy to send mine, but you can Google and it's easy to put together.
Yeah, so Jason, what's your opinion between sending out resumes and sending out like a biography or something?
I am a big fan of the one page bio. That's coming up this week, right?
Yeah, this Friday we have a speaker on the one-page bio, right?
Yeah, I think it's an excellent idea, and it's a more of a marketing tool um, over than say handing or sending a direct message resume, just because it's used in a variety of different ways, and I love it. I think it's a great idea, and if you don't have one, make sure you tune in Friday to figure that out.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Y'all are real quiet today.
We're very quiet today. Nobody wants to be on, nobody wants to be live today.
Must be Monday.
Right, let me see here. Somebody said on Facebook, thanks for letting them know about all the services from JFS. Oh, can you just talk about the services that JFS provides? It's on a sliding scale, correct? I mean,
Well, so it depends on what service that you need. There's obviously, if you're suffering for food, we're not going to we're not going to be there with our hand out. And by the way, but in our department for career and financial services, um, uh, every client that we get gets both a career coach and a financial coach. The reason is, guys, those things do kind of go hand in hand. If you're worried about how you're going to pay next month's rent, that's probably going to take a little bit more precedence up here in your dome than the interview that you're currently going to, right? So our financial coaches will work with you on debt reduction and a spending plan and getting your credit score up. Some companies will be looking at your credit score, right? Depending on their job, but that's one of the things they look at. That's what those guys help with. That is grant funded and at no cost. The career coaching sessions are on a sliding scale basis based on what it is that you can afford to pay. Money will never be a barrier for receiving service, right? I mean, whatever it is, and I have some clients that pay me $5. I have some that say I can't afford anything, Jason, but can I make a donation once I get a job? I'm like, absolutely. I'm here to help people. And that money, by the way, that doesn't go to me. That's not the consultancy fee. Doesn't go to me. Otherwise, I'd be hitting people up a lot harder for for the consult. That doesn't go to me. It goes back into our program that lets us do things. I'll give you an example. So we shut down in March of last year. Our office opened back up. I want to say like mid-May, and we had enough. So it started with a former client donating a laptop. Okay. And then we were able to purchase a couple of more laptops. And so until we shut down again, which was in November, we have a program where, because everybody is out and they're working from home, not everybody had a laptop, right? Library shut down. What are we going to do? We can't do Zoom interviews because I don't have a laptop, and my phone's not really going to work all that well for it. So what we did was we were able to. So it started with one donation, and then we were able to purchase a couple of laptops, and we had a laptop donor program. If you were a client, you could come in, check out a laptop for like 3 days, and then you'd bring it back. So if you had an interview or that you needed to use it for, or whatever you were job search things, you can blow one out, right? And then of course that ended once we shut down again. We're back open and in the office a little bit, a few days a week. I assume that program will continue, but there we have that. That's something that we use some of the money for, as well as so we have also, if anybody needs help with Microsoft Word or Excel, we have classes for that. They're going on actually right now. We have Word, Excel, and then Advanced Excel. Our trainer Phil Kanicki is doing those. That's from noon until 1:30. Those are also free. Suggested donation of $25, but if you can't afford that, that's fine as well. And we've been doing those online too. Those are also virtual. The consultancy fee, just to go back to the original question, is on a sliding scale of what you can afford to pay.
Right. And I've been pushing out for those, the programs that Phil's been putting on with the training things. I've been trying to push those out to at least the people here in the DFW area. I don't know if I've pushed them out to people outside the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Who's that?
Lenore's saying, how do we sign up for these classes?
I'm going to put the link in there right now for you.
Okay.
As soon as I find my email.
He's looking for the link. I'm going to go ahead and I'll share my screen again here. And here is Jason's LinkedIn profile. If you want to connect with Jason, please send him a personal note. Let him know that you met him here today. You saw his presentation here today. Personally, I don't connect with anybody who doesn't send me a personal note. I'm not sure, Jason, what Jason's rule is, but tell us why we should connect. It's always really a good idea on LinkedIn. Next week, our speaker is going to be Don Needham, who's going to talk about networking 101. So once again, just a different point of view about networking and things you should think about. So hopefully you'll join us again next Monday. Career DFW and Career USA, we're putting on training 5 days a week. So please join us. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we have a very interesting presentation. If you've never heard Kurt Vondermatter talk, he's a retained recruiter. He spends around $10,000 a year on the full-blown recruiting package. And he's going to tell you how he uses that package to find you. So he'll show us the recruiting package from the back end of LinkedIn, the end that we never get to see. And how he uses it and what you need to do so that he can find you, to make it easy for him to find you. So join Kurt tomorrow, 1 o'clock. On Wednesday, Interviewing Wednesdays will be on session number 7 of 13, how to discuss compensation and the circumstances about leaving your previous position. Those are 2 topics that will come up in every interview. How much do you make? How much do you want to make? What did you make at your last job? And why did you leave your last job? So those are 2 biggies that come up, and we'll talk about that this Wednesday. This Thursday at 1 o'clock, we do effective resumes every Thursday. Come join us for resume tips and tricks. And then this Friday at the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group at 9:30 in the morning, the 1-page bio. Minna Brown will be with us. She's written a book called Be Sharp. Highly recommend the book. It's a great book. The first half of the book is all about your 30-second introduction, and the second half of the book is all about the bio. And if you get the book, look for the second edition. In the back of the book is about 30 or 40 different bio samples, and they talk about how to lay it out and what kind of information should be on it. So join us this Friday for Minna. It's a great presentation about how to use the 1-page bio, which I think is a very, very effective tool. Also Friday at 1 o'clock, Women of Wisdom. If you're a woman, you want some wisdom, you have wisdom. If you'd like to join this group, it is by invitation only. You need to send an email to wow@careerdfw.org. And the reason for this is they're trying to limit the group to like 20 or 25 people because there's a lot of interactivity during the group, a lot of group discussions, and they don't want the group to be 40 or 50 people. They're trying to keep it to 20 or 25 people. If you'd like to join the Career DFW and Career USA LinkedIn groups, you're welcome to do so. We have over 13,000 members in the careerdfw.org group. You do not need to live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to join that group. You can join either group, whatever you'd like to do. This session will be recorded. It is recorded, and it will be on the Career DFW Facebook page, and I'll have it up on the Career USA YouTube channel in a couple hours. Please follow us on Facebook. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd really, really appreciate that. On the YouTube channel, it looks something like this. Be sure to click on playlist if that's how if you get to it by some other means. And then down below, you'll see that there's all these different playlists that are done: resumes, interviewing, LinkedIn, networking. And don't click on the video, but click where you see that red arrow where it says view full playlist. And then up will come a list of all the different speakers that we've had. And the newest one should be on top. And you're welcome to go back and view any of those however you'd like. So if you're not receiving emails about our workshops and you'd like to join the Career USA mailing list, you will not be spammed. I put out 6 or 7 emails a week. The nice thing about it is every morning I put out the topic of the day, the title of the day, and the Zoom link for the day. So you won't have to go search for it anyplace. Just if you're signed up, if you're not getting the daily emails, check that out. And if you're getting emails like from like a daily digest from another group, and like you're not receiving the emails the next day, it's because your setting is set up for daily digest, meaning you get everything it was put out, in a 24-hour period the next day. So you won't be getting those immediate emails. You just need to change your email setting in that group. Please note, Career DFW, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We have no full or part-time employees. Jason volunteered to do this talk today. I'm a volunteer. I've never gotten paid to do any of this before. We survive on donations, and we really appreciate it when somebody sends a check-in or a donation through PayPal, because it helps us continue to provide the services that we're doing. If you're not aware, we have done over 288 workshops since COVID started. This, I think, is number 289. So, please consider making a donation when you get your next job. Thank you for joining us today. Jason, once again, thank you very, very much. And everybody, hopefully we'll see you later in the week.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. Bye, guys.